I bet you it's like early 30s. You know, it's Depression era for sure. And at one time the bell actually animated. It swung back and forth, but it hasn't for years. When this sign gets restored, when something happens with this building one day, you know, the idea is to restore it back to its original splendor. And the sign actually was black. I don't know how it got painted white at some point. But I mean, it's been up there. It's been up there all these years. It's undisturbed. You know, it's not going nowhere. You know, it's survived, you know, for 80 years, so 75 years. So it's not going nowhere.
After the bell closed, like I moved next door to 656, like the building next door, and just kept an eye on the bell, because there were still people coming and going, you know, before it was closed and stuff, you know. And it was just like, you know, just a big sigh, I think, from the building, you know, when nobody was around. It was kind of lonely, you know what I mean, I think, if a building can be, you know, just, like I'd come in the mornings, and then just, you know, kind of just, I don't know, just a feeling you got, you know, like, where is everybody, you know? Maybe it's a ghost talking, I don't know.
I mean, I've still got all my keys. And these keys here are all the Bell Hotel. And I won't give them up. I won't give them up. I've been working in hotels for 30 years. We used to have down over here, you had that Patricia Hotel. Across the street from that was the Brunswick Hotel. Across the street from that, now I'm talking on Higgins, Main and Higgins. Okay, was the Patricia, the Brunswick. Across the street from that was the Savoy. Right next to the Savoy was the Manor. All gone. Every one of them gone. And now the Bell's gone too.
Over the 30 or 40 years we were here, hundreds of stories, thousands, but I mean, I don't know, more or less.
Can't pinpoint one.
There's all kinds, like the doors were open 24 hours, right? And there was all, you know, all sorts of people coming continually. I had no previous hotel experience, and it showed. You know, when I bought the place, the people responded. That the area was still good, before all these missions moved in, And I'm not kidding, the business just went to the roof. It was really fantastic. It was, times were good. The place was packed. You couldn't get in.
It's just a feeling like when you go in, you know, just go inside the building and just kind of think about it, you know. You just kind of almost hear the voices in the parties and stuff, you know. And I don't know if it's true or not, I don't know. Because you always get rumors, but I heard Al Capone stayed here. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. But, you know, it would surprise me, because I guess back in the day, this used to be the happening place.
Yeah, Al Capone, years back when the two brothers were having a sort of dispute, and this is going into Prohibition time, and they were busy in Saskatchewan, and then they got into this hotel business. And there was two brothers, I believe, Peter Bronfman and Sam. And they were not getting along too well, but Capone, I guess, was their conduit to the States, for all this home brew, illicit booze, because it was prohibition in the States. And I think that there was a problem that Sam wanted his brother out. So Capone came up to give this guy a deal he couldn't refuse, and he actually stayed in the Bell Hotel. At that time, the Royal Alexandra and then the CPR station was really busy, You know, that we used to run the rails, CPR conductors, and this kind of guys, they stayed there as well. So they had little suites, eh? And then, we had several veterans from the Second World War, and we had a kind of a group that stayed with us together for quite a long time, about 7 or 8. I buried all those guys. I made sure that they were looked after right to the end. Then later on, after the soldier kind of guys, the area became more and more depressed. You know, it's so sad. If you ever saw the conditions that these people do go through and are pushed around, and that's my biggest complaint. And they sent all kinds of inspectors down, and they had a real tough lawyer. They were coming like out of the woodwork. I had a fire inspector, boiler inspector, building engineer, water pollution engineer. They were just coming from everywhere and writing up bad reports, I guess, to scare the pants off me. So I had no choice but to sell it and take what I could get. The bell died before I died. I thought that was going to be my demise. Well, the bell went down first.